Hi, I'm Niall Benvie, and I worked as an outdoor photographer and writer for the last 17 years now. I've always had a real fondness for pictures with plain white backgrounds in them, and about 3 years ago I started to develop a variety of sets that I could take out on location and photograph the subjects on these white backgrounds. Now, of course, this isn't new, it's been done before, but I think the particular twist that I've put to it is to backlight everything and to photograph everything in the field. Nothing is taken into the studio. The point of this DVD is to show you the techniques I use, the equipment that you'll need, and also how to do the post-production work in Adobe Lightroom. So let's have a look at the equipment that we need to do this work. Now, one of the really nice things about the Field Studio is you can actually do this type of photography with really very inexpensive equipment. I use quite a fancy set because I do it a lot, but when it comes to lighting, for example, you can use a pair of old manual flash guns that can be picked up very cheaply, and they'll provide lighting which is pretty much indistinguishable from more expensive studio heads. The advantage of using something like the Elinchrum Ranger Quadra system that I use is that it has its own independent battery pack, so that I can get many more pops per shoot, but also it can be integrated with light boxes and other light modifiers. If you're just starting off and want to experiment with the Field Studio, why not go and get a piece of white perspex which can go in behind the subject as a backdrop, and to scatter the light at the front, for the front fill, a piece of opaque envelope stiffener is ideal. It's plastic, very lightweight, and very inexpensive. If you decide to go down the portable studio flash route rather than using manual flash guns, you'll be able to plug them into a big variety of light modifiers and softboxes. Now, softboxes are great. They can actually act as the pure white background in the shot, as well as providing that lovely even lighting for the front of the subject. But they're not quite so convenient as a sheet of perspex in a tight corner, and are also much more likely to catch the wind and get blown over too. Rather than having lots of cables trailing about all over the set, I much prefer to trigger the flashes wirelessly. Now, there's two options, either with an infrared trigger or with a radio controlled one. The infrared works when a small pulse of light is sent from a camera, either from another little flash gun or from a dedicated transmitter, to a slave which is attached directly to the flash. This works very well, but the trouble is that if there's several other flashes going off at the same time, maybe in a workshop situation, then your flash will keep firing whether you want it to or not. The radio transmitter, in contrast, will respond only to that particular frequency which it's been programmed to respond to, and you don't have this problem of your flash being borrowed. As a wildlife photographer, I spend most of my working time alone, and as I've developed the technique, I found it really useful to have a variety of clamps and brackets and goosenecks to help support the backgrounds and the diffusers and the softboxes when I do this work. But perhaps the most useful tool of all is a Benbow Trekker tripod. These were developed as camera supports, but their versatility makes them a perfect second pair of hands in the field. Now we've seen the gear, let's get out and get started.